you can hear me, it's quite loud. I'm probably the worst vlogger ever to exist in this world. But I'm on the plane and I'm going to Mexico for 4.5 weeks, which I'm really, really excited for. I'm going to start in Mexico City, which is where we're flying to, and end in Cancun. I've never been to South America.
Central America, babes.
It's my first time. An 11-hour direct flight, which is the longest I've ever done direct. I get bored easily. My favourite film is on the flight, so we're good. And you get to come with.
If I had to take a random guess, I've probably seen this film like a solid 213 times. Anyway, we took a little nap for a few hours, tried to get some sleep, we had plenty of room, got a bit delirious about 8 hours in, and Antoine wanted to have a little dance party, and voila, we have arrived.
We're here. But it's like 2 a.m. for us back home, so I'm very tired. But I'm in Mexico, so that's cool. No, come on. You have to be more excited for Mexico.
I'm very excited, but I'm tired. So we are here. The flight was good. Darcy was a bit worried, and she was a bit annoying me, like all along the travel, along the trip. But it's okay.
There's no snacks.
Antoine. I'm buried. Antoine. Oh, wow.
Good morning, everyone. So we landed in Mexico City last night and we just came straight to the hotel, grabbed some food. We got some street tacos, which was like £2. Gonna have a look at the city centre, get information for further travels. Depends. And I just got the toilet flushing on the camera. That's nice.
First stop on the first day of Mexico, and we are headed to Mercado San Juan. Saw this policeman with his big gun, not scary at all, at 8 in the morning. Saw some more police as we stopped in front of the market, made our way inside the market, and we saw many stores preparing fresh fruit and vegetables and meat for the day. Here we have these two guys bashing their meat. This seems to be a very common process of preparing meat in Mexico. It was very cool. Before filming anyone, I did ask for their permission to make sure it was okay. These guys were having a great old time, thinking they're going to be famous on @DarcyStokes6 YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. #thanks. Saw this stall with lots of native herbs, spices, nuts, seeds, grains and beans. We then stopped off for some breakfast, our first Mexican breakfast. It was really cute. They were playing some classic Mexican music, really making me feel those Mexico vibes. We ordered 2 fresh fruit smoothies. I'm not entirely sure what my smoothie was doing with all this froth, but it tasted good anyway. It was literally nearly the size of my head. Here I am, so pleased with my smoothie. And then we have Antoine giving his professional commentary on the taste of the smoothie.
Very sweet, and you feel like the real fruits, no? From the ground. I don't know. It's like.
For a big smoothie, a bowl of bread, and our breakfast, which consisted of eggs, chicken, and spicy nachos, we paid 130 pesos each, which is the equivalent to £6. Not entirely sure that this is what I wanted for breakfast, but it was tasty. We walked for a further 10 minutes into the historical center of Mexico City. There was a big group of people protesting outside the Edificio de Gobierno. In front of us just here is the Mexico City Metropolitan Cathedral, the Palacio Nacional, aka government building. This place was really nice. It was so open and big, decorated with a huge Mexican flag right in the center of the square and many decorations surrounding. The people of Mexico were already preparing for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, a very famous Mexican tradition usually celebrated on November 1st and 2nd. Still just under 2 months away. It originated as a synchronized celebration between Catholics and various indigenous peoples of Mexico and is now celebrated throughout many parts of Central and South America. Across the square in Plaza Seminario, this guy was performing what I believe to be a traditional Mayan healing ceremony. After we visit the Zona Arqueológica del Templo Mayo, which is an old destroyed Aztec temple in the heart of the city. It was destroyed by Spanish colonials who then used the materials to build the cathedral right next to us. We went inside the cathedral but were not allowed to film, and both of these sites are free of charge. Here we are at Tío Pepe's in Chinatown for some tequila tasting. I seriously think I fell in love with this bar. Not only was it right in the heart of Chinatown, but inside gave me this really cool, old Mexican-style ranch vibe. I'm obsessed. I love to live and immerse myself into real and authentic culture when I travel, and this experience gave me just that. For 8 shots of tequila, we paid 320 pesos, which is around 14 pounds. And if you're in Mexico City, I would highly recommend. You must visit Tío Pepe's.
So we've stopped for a little break. We've honestly walked about, I don't know, like 10 kilometers today. I'm tired.
Day 2, and we are headed to the ancient Aztec city of Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is about an hour's drive northeast of Mexico City. We got the bus, which was 208 pesos, about 4 pounds each, and the entry fee was 80 pesos, which is about 3 pounds 25 each. This is definitely a cheap, easy, and historic activity to do during your stay in Mexico City.
Hey, happy Sunday, everyone. Yesterday was a very, very long day. I think we walked something like 20 kilometers throughout the heart of Mexico City. It's a big city. Teotihuacan. The oldest city in Mexico, to see the ancient ruins. It was 85 pesos to enter. Like, it's cool, like it's impressive. Like, you can see this big one just behind me. Yeah, it has a lot of history, which is cool. It's the oldest city, where before the pre-Hispanic settlers came. This is like an ancient Aztec city. I do enjoy these things, like they're pretty cool to learn about the history, of course, and culture of another country. But it is one of those like really touristy things. Like, there's a lot of people here, and I don't really like doing the big touristy things unless it's something that's like really, really worth it. Find out about some of the history of Mexico. So I would definitely recommend, if you come to Mexico and you're in Mexico City, definitely something to do. It's not too far from the city. The bus is pretty cheap.
Before leaving, I couldn't help myself but say hello to some of the friendly dogs on site. I named this one Pueblo and this one Blanco, for obvious reasons, of course. After a rather exciting and musical bus journey back into the heart of Mexico City from one of the lovely locals, we hopped ourselves onto another bus across the city to grab some lunch. I honestly couldn't believe the amount of people continuously trying to squeeze onto this bus. I was literally back to back with this guy. We were sharing sweat. It's giving 6 p.m. London Underground vibes. Anyway, we headed across Mexico City to Taqueria Los Cucollos. This is probably the most highly rated and recommended taco place in Mexico City, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. All of the options on the menu were the product of cows, and it's very common for people in Mexico to eat the meat of a cow's head, also known as cabeza. One taco was 19 pesos, which is around 75p.
Eating some brain.
Here's me trying some cow's brain, which for the record is something I would never choose to do again, but as a first time experience, it was somewhat both pleasant and utterly disgusting.
You think the texture? What is brain?
eggs, and lengua. Tongue in
To
English.
summarise, we ordered cow's brain, eyes, tongue and cheek.
Nice.
We decided that because we missed out on rock climbing and we missed out on the Lucha Libre arena show, like the Mexican wrestling, to leave Mexico City tonight instead of tomorrow morning. So we got a bus ticket for Oaxaca.
How many times do you think I pronounced this wrong before realising it's Oaxaca?
Which is 7 hours overnight. Glorious. Good morning, fans. I'm kidding. So we've arrived in Oaxaca. I've been pronouncing it wrong. I think I called it Oaxaca before, but it's called Oaxaca apparently. Classic tourist. Very, very tired. To the train station, we just sat for a bit. Woke up, had a coffee, had a poo. We're walking to the second class bus station, which is like the bus station that deals with local buses. We're gonna make our way to Pueblos Mancomunados. We're heading to a little town, hopefully called Benito Juarez, which is in the mountains. We're gonna do some hiking because it looks very beautiful. Also, side note, because it's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm a bit grumpy, but if you come to Mexico, you have to pay to pee. You have to pay to pee. Everywhere. Everywhere. So bring change. We like the hiking. We like the hiking. We make mistakes. We make mistakes.
No buses,
No buses.
no taxi,
No taxi.
no buses,
No buses.
no taxi.
No taxi. We
And
like. So we like hiking because we're stupid and we make mistakes and we have to walk everywhere. Okay, bye.
Okay, so slight change of plan. After heading across the town to the second class bus station, we were told that there were no more available buses to Benito Juarez. So now we were stuck in Oaxaca. Our original plan was to go to Benito Juarez first and then Oaxaca City, so we simply just changed the two around. We checked into the Tecuci hostel, which you can find on Hostel World, as well as booking.com. Of course, traveling as a couple, we booked a double private bedroom. This came to around 850 pesos, which was £40 for the night, split between the two of us. A single bed in a dormitory will cost you around £15 to £18. Way more on the expensive side for our budget, but with such limited notice, this was our best and most available option. Of course, we made sure to make full use of the amenities the hostel had to offer. So after a very early morning and an unexpected change of plans, we checked into our hostel and just took a few hours for ourselves. I did some rooftop yoga while I watched the sun relax into the morning, while Antoine practiced his fire stick, which he's actually really good at. Like, the boy has skills.
Give me my phone, bitch. It was like, oh, sorry, senor.
With our hostel being in the centre of Oaxaca City, it was just a short walk into the cultural quarter, with our first stop being the Templo de Santo Domingo de Guzman. Personally, I'm not a religious person, nor do I follow a religious faith, but I always enjoy going into churches and monumental buildings just to see the wonder that they are. I always feel a strong sense of power and a surge of energy when inside these buildings, and this is a feeling that I enjoy to indulge in, along with all of the history that goes along behind it. My absolute favourite part about this church was this window at the back, which allowed all of the day's sunlight to shine through. It took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to find a church as beautiful as this one when coming to Oaxaca City. Heading northeast across Jardín Conzati and Paseo Juarez into the Hacienda and Haditlaco region, we landed in the artistic quarter of Oaxaca City. This quarter is famous for its street art. It is definitely not something to be missed off your backpacking trip. It has street after street after street with houses filled with paintings from the array of budding artists across Mexico. This street art honestly took my breath away. I could not believe the amount of detail, with some art just being an artistic expression, while others were telling stories of both the ancient and current Mexican culture. This art was more than just something pretty to look at, more than just colours on the wall. They are telling stories, they are educating, they're giving us an insight into who these people are, who these artists are. I absolutely adored spending the afternoon exploring the expressions of Oaxaca. My most favourite art piece was this art piece here, where the artist has integrated the surrounding nature into his work. Oh, it was just stunning. I still think about the lady with the pink hair. Oaxaca City is often regarded as the most colourful city, and it's no wonder to figure out why. After walking near enough the entirety of Oaxaca City all afternoon, we made our way back to the hostel, got ready and headed out for some dinner. We took a break from the tacos and chose pizza and pasta at this really cute restaurant. After feeling like one night and one day was enough in Oaxaca City, we changed our plan and decided to skip Benito Juarez and move straight on to San Jose del Pacifico. The city is known to be the foodie city of not just Oaxaca region, but the entirety of Mexico. So I do think one more night would have been beneficial to discover some more of what the city has to offer. They're supposed to do a really good burrito. Again, we made a mistake and hiked something like 6 kilometers this morning to find the correct bus, heading to both bus station B and bus station A before someone correctly directed us to the Líneas Unidas bus line, which deals with all of the shuttle buses within the Oaxaca region. Finally, we had it correct. The bus was 3.5 hours long and cost us 150 pesos or £6 each. There was this dog at the bus station and Antoine convinced me that I couldn't get her to trust me. But look where she is now. She was so cute and I called her Chicken. We left Oaxaca City and made our way up and into the mountains to San Jose del Pacifico. Warning, if you have a weak stomach or bad travel sickness, come prepared. I'm not going to go into detail about the nightmare that preceded for me. If you enjoyed Mexico Part 1 and you want to find out what happens, or you just simply enjoy the dog content, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and keep an eye out for Mexico Part 2.